All right, let's talk about Ruby on Rails. We're going to dive deep into the core philosophy behind this hugely influential framework and figure out what makes it so powerful and, honestly, so productive for so many developers.
But before we get into the nuts and bolts, let's just step back and ask a really fundamental question. When you pick up a programming tool, what's its most important job? Is it all about raw speed, rock-solid stability, or is it something else completely?
Well, according to the creator of Rails, David Heinemeier Hansson, the answer is kind of radical. And he inherited this idea straight from Ruby's creator, Mats. The main goal, the #1 priority, should be to optimize for programmer happiness. Yeah, you heard that right, happiness.
And look, this isn't just some fluffy, feel-good slogan. It's actually the first, and you could argue the most important pillar of what's called the Rails doctrine. It's the why behind everything else. Every single decision made in the framework flows from this one idea.
Okay, so programmer happiness sounds great, right? But how do you actually turn that into a real, practical advantage for developers writing code every day? Well, it all starts with the most famous principle in the Rails world.
And that principle is convention over configuration. The idea here is actually pretty simple, but it is so profound. The framework just makes a bunch of smart, common-sense decisions for you by default. This means you don't have to waste your time on all that tedious setup work. You get to skip right to the fun part, building the stuff that actually makes your app special.
The Rails doctrine has a, let's say, blunt way of putting this. The thinking is, hey, most of what you're building in a web app has been built 1,000 times before. So if you just accept that and give up a little bit of your uniqueness in those boring, mundane areas, you get an absolutely massive boost in speed and clarity on the parts that actually matter.
And here's a perfect example of how that works. It's almost like magic. Let's say you have a model class called Book Club. Well, Rails just assumes, by convention, that it should map to a database table called book_clubs. That's it. You don't have to write a config file. You don't have to tell it anything. The framework just knows. Okay, let's really see this in action. We're going to look at Active Record, which is the part of Rails that handles your data models. And I'm telling you, for a lot of developers, this is where that big aha moment really clicks into place.
So check this out. All you do is create this book class and have it inherit from application record. That's it. Seriously, you've just done everything you need to do to connect this class to the books table in your database. That one line of code, thanks to those conventions, is doing all the heavy lifting for you.
And this is the payoff. Right away, your new book model is supercharged with all these powerful methods for talking to the database. You can create records, read them, update them, delete them, all with these super simple, easy-to-read commands. And notice what's missing? You haven't written a single line of SQL. It's incredible.
Now this whole idea of smart defaults, this convention over configuration thing, it goes way beyond just the database. Rails is really a complete, totally integrated toolbox for building an entire web application from the ground up.
The creators have a fantastic way of describing it. They call it omakase. You know, like at a sushi restaurant, it's the chef's choice menu. Instead of you having to agonize over every single little choice, a team of experts has already put together the best possible combination of tools for you. They've done the hard work of curating the menu.
And one of the biggest wins you get from this chef's choice approach is security. I mean, it's huge. Rails comes prepackaged with all these sensible security defaults that protect your app from a whole list of nasty, common vulnerabilities, right out of the box. You don't have to be a security guru to build something that's actually secure.
And think about this, because pretty much everyone in the Rails world is using the same curated set of tools. You get to tap into this enormous shared body of knowledge. The whole community is working together, constantly documenting the best ways to do things, and, just as importantly, pointing out the anti-patterns, the common mistakes and pitfalls to avoid. It just makes the whole ecosystem stronger for everyone. Okay, so we've got this curated toolbox, all designed to work together perfectly. What does that lead to? What kind of application structure does that philosophy naturally encourage?
Well, in today's world where everyone seems to be talking about microservices, Rails takes a different path. It proudly, and I mean proudly, champions what it calls the majestic monolith. And no, monolith isn't a bad word here. It's a celebration of having a single, powerful, integrated system that works as one cohesive unit.
The whole point is to empower a really small team, or heck, even just one single person, to build and maintain a complete, full-featured, modern web app. The entire system is designed for clarity and, you guessed it, productivity.
It handles the whole shebang, from the front-end JavaScript all the way down to the back-end database.
So when you boil it all down, here's the crucial takeaway. Rails is not just a random collection of libraries and tools. It's a powerful, deeply held philosophy that's been expressed in code. It's opinionated for sure. It makes strong choices for you, all with that one goal in mind, making programmers happy and productive.
And that really leaves us with a big question, one that every developer and every team has to think about. Is this chef's choice, this omakase approach, the real key to productivity? Or is having the total freedom to pick and choose every single tiny piece of your technology stack more valuable in the end? The Rails doctrine has a very clear answer. But what's yours?